So I recently turned 34, and the morning after my 34th birthday, my first official full day of being 34, I gave myself a journaling prompt. And in this journal, I wrote down 34 life lessons that I have learned at 34 years old. And I thought it'd be really fun to share them with you, and hopefully you can gather some insights from the lessons that I've learned. I think with age comes the opportunity to have and learn and gather a lot of wisdom. And of course, that's only available to you if you decide to see life in that way, when you decide to live life curiously and have this desire to learn and to grow. You can allow yourself to learn so many valuable life lessons, and most of these lessons have come to me over the last few years as I've been on my personal development journey. So I thought it'd be really insightful and really fun to share the 34 lessons that I wrote down on the first day of being 34 years old. So I hope that you enjoy, and let's dive in. So the first lesson is mindset is everything. Your thoughts and your beliefs shape your reality. And that is number one on here, I think, because it's the number one thing that I've learned that has changed and shifted my entire life, my entire mindset, my entire belief system, is knowing that my thoughts create my reality. And when you become aware of this, you are able to live life a lot more consciously and with more intention. And with that, you get to be the creator of your life. You get to take the reins and live a life that you want to live, and live with the values and the feelings, the emotions, the intentions, the dreams, the aspirations that you want to happen in your life. And your mindset is such a powerful thing. Number two, perfection is an illusion that holds us back. As a recovering perfectionist, I can tell you that perfectionism really is something that is unattainable. And I've learned that over the last few years as I've been someone who's been growing and developing and healing. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to do everything perfectly, whether you're on a health healing protocol for your physical body, or you're chasing a dream, or you're studying for a test, whatever it may be. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. And the thing is, once you realize that perfection is unattainable, it's impossible to be perfect, it really allows you to just take a deep breath, exhale, and know that what you're doing, the effort that you put into anything is good enough, and your 100% any given day is good enough. And just living life with that mentality, instead of judging yourself for trying to be perfect and not achieving this imagined level of perfection in your head that honestly is unattainable, it just gives yourself a permission slip to just take that pressure off yourself, because perfectionism is something that is a burden we're only putting on ourselves. There's nobody else in the world in our lives that expects us to be perfect except the people who are expecting themselves to be perfect. So just know that perfection is unattainable, but growth and improvement always is. So strive for growth and improvement, not for perfection, and you will be much happier for it. Number three, nature heals. And if you've been around here for a while, you know that nature is one of my biggest catalysts for everything good in my life. It's been my biggest catalyst for growth, for expansion, for physical healing, for emotional healing, for mental healing. It's been such a positive thing for me in my life to accept and embrace the connection that I have with nature, and know that it makes my life so much better. It heals me, it nurtures me, all the good things come from nature for me. And I feel like that is something that is available to every single person, because we are part of nature. And I truly feel like for any person out there, the closer of a connection and bond you develop with nature, the closer connection and bond you end up developing with yourself. It's something that is so healing, so important, and I highly recommend, if you haven't already gone on that journey, to strengthen your relationship with nature, that you consider doing so, because it is such a powerful and magical thing. Number 4, happiness is an inside job. It comes from within. This is something that is a really important one, and the reason it's so important is because so many of us have this perception of what happiness really is and the things that are going to bring us happiness in our lives. And a lot of the time when you ask people, they think it comes from outside themselves. They think the happiness that they are truly desiring in life comes from another person or a group of people or from a job or from something else. But the truth is, happiness is an inside job. It comes from ourselves, and it's our responsibility and our duty to find that happiness within and cultivate it from within, because the happiness that comes from our own personal satisfaction, enjoyment, acceptance of ourselves, that pure happiness can only come from ourselves. So when you realize that happiness is an inside job, it really changes your perception on life and the things that you will do and you will pursue in the future to actually be happy. Number 5 is rest is productive. I think in today's day and age, it's so easy for us to think that it's unproductive to rest because society tells us that we should keep busy, that we should do all the things, that we should strive to be better, that we should improve. And that even comes from the personal development mindset and atmosphere as well, right? To continually improve and grow. But a really important thing to remember is that rest is a part of that recipe for growth. It's not always just about doing. It's also about slowing down and allowing. And personally, I can tell you that it's been the times when I allow myself to rest and slow down that I sometimes get my biggest breakthroughs about things that I've been struggling with or working on. So that just shows you just how important the rest part is of the recipe for life and personal development and growth. Remember, rest is so important. Number 6, it's never too late to follow your dreams. And I know that sounds super corny, but it is true. I personally feel so inspired when I am watching YouTube videos of fellow creators who are maybe in their 50s or 60s, and they're sharing how it took them until around that age in their life to actually start pursuing their passions and following their dreams and stop doing what society told them to do, stop doing the things that they thought they were supposed to do in order to be successful, happy, all those things. And they started listening to their own heart, and they started listening to their own inner guide and soul, and started doing the things that actually make them happy, that set their souls on fire. And I honestly feel like it's never too late to change direction and to start living your life in that really authentic and meaningful way, because we're never stuck in our own circumstances. We can always change things. And I think when you really think about it, even if you're not sure right now what your passion or purpose is in life, I think when you really sit down and think about it, you can find and come up with the thing that actually truly makes you happy. And that thing doesn't have to be your full-time job. It can be a passion that you do on the side. It doesn't have to bring you income for it to have purpose, but you just need to find those outlets for things that truly make you feel like your life is worth living. Those things that you can set aside time to do, and when you do them, you really feel fulfilled and you feel so happy and grateful that you took the time to do those things. Those are the things that are going to give your life purpose, the things that you feel like are allowing you to chase a dream and to follow a passion. So it's never too late to start doing that in your own life. Number 7, our greatest asset is our health. Without it, we have nothing. This is a lesson that I really learned a few years ago before I found personal development and started healing on a mental, physical, and emotional level. I was at the worst point in my life I had ever been health-wise, and I was struggling every single day. And I can tell you, when you are in that place in your life, maybe you've experienced it before, when you just have this debilitating health issue that is just weighing you down every single day, there's no way to live in that state and also be living your best, most fulfilling, most healthy, most happiest life. There's just no way, because so much of your energy is going into coping and working through the pain. So really, without our health, we truly have nothing, because health is everything. You have to have a healthy, functioning body in order to live out your best life, in order to chase your dreams, pursue your passions, cultivate your relationships, your friendships, all those things that make life worth living. It's really hard to do when your physical body feels so sick and not good, and you're in this chronic state of bad health. So the first thing that I think anyone should pursue when they're looking to improve their life is make sure that their health is in check first, because taking care of your physical body is going to make the journey so much better for starting to cultivate wellness and happiness and growth within your mental and emotional body. So take care of this body. It's the only body you have. It's so important. Make good choices. Heal the things that need to be healed so that you can live a more fruitful life. Number 8, community and socialization is important, even for introverts. So I personally identify as an amnivert, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's someone who's an introvert but can be very extroverted in the right kind of environments. And I used to always think that I was just an introvert, that I just really enjoyed my alone time. I didn't really like being in public spaces, but something I've come to learn, especially over the last few years, is I could actually be a very extroverted person if I'm in the right group of people. If I'm in a group of people who have similar mindsets to me, who have similar values and beliefs as me, that's when I really come out of my shell, and I can be very fun to be around and very energetic and add a lot to conversations. So that's something I personally learned about myself, is that I feel like a lot of us probably think that we're introverted if you're someone like me who likes a lot of alone time and has a lot of introspective time. But if you find the right communities, if you find the right groups of people and friends that you can really connect with on a spiritual and mental level, and even emotional level, I think you really will find that you come more out of your shell. Like, you get to be the version of yourself that's actually your authentic self when you're around other people that allow you to open up that side of you. So I think for that reason, finding a community and group of people that really see eye to eye with you, that you really align with, is something that's so important for your own personal development journey, but also just for cultivating that feeling of community and like you belong, because that's something as humans that we need as well. There's really a lot of value in getting part of our cup filled from other people and from other communities, and that also helps you grow yourself as well. So it's a really, really cool and valuable thing, and I highly recommend, if you haven't found your tribe, your people, that you make some time to do that, because it could be really life enriching. Number 9, time is precious. Don't waste it on doing things that you don't like to do. So I know as adults, we have things that we have to do, keep our houses clean, go to work, make money, all those types of things. But I think it's just a really good reminder to really evaluate the things in your life that you feel like you have to do, and just ensure that you're getting something out of it. Like, for example, if you're in a job that you absolutely hate, that drains your energy and your soul every single day, no amount of money is worth staying in a job like that. I think it's so important to remember that your life is your life, and you only get to live it once. And if something's really, really draining your energy and making you very unhappy, it's really important that you change that, because you should be able to be fulfilled. Even if you're not living out your dream life at the moment, or you're not working your dream job, maybe there's a job you can find that's this in-between job that just still brings you happiness. There's still something about it that is fulfilling, that is nourishing for you, something about it that's driving you to want to be successful in it, and that doesn't feel like every single work day is the worst day of your life. So I think that's really important. I think just finding little joys in the things that you do can be really, really impactful, and making sure that there's nothing that's a part of your life that cannot be removed that you really don't like doing. Like if there's something you really don't like doing, find a game plan to get out of doing that thing, because it's important for you to feel good. Number 10, things can always shift or improve in an instant. This one is just a very empowering way of thinking. I think sometimes we convince ourselves that we're stuck in a certain circumstance, and it could be really powerful to tell ourselves that things can change in an instant. You can be working towards something that maybe isn't looking very promising, or maybe isn't looking like it's going to come to fruition, and then something magical can just happen and it can shift everything. So we gain so much more from living with this mentality that things can make a positive shift for us in an instant, instead of always thinking about how something isn't happening for us yet. So that's a really powerful mindset that I encourage you to explore. Number 11, the more you learn about yourself, the better. So as a personal development person myself, I can tell you that any time that I've spent learning more about myself and who I am through different modalities, whether that's through human design or astrology or personality tests, like anything like that that allows you to dig deeper into who you are and what your beliefs are and what you strive to achieve in your life. Any of that personal development work, journaling, anything like that, I feel like is so beneficial for us, because the more that we understand ourselves and what fuels us and what drives us and what makes us happy, I feel like that's going to lead to so much more fulfillment in your life. If you don't know where you're going, then you don't know where you're headed, and you're just kind of wandering, you can lose a sense of fulfillment and meaning in your life. But the more you learn about yourself and the things that you enjoy and the things that you want to do in life, the sooner you will find those roads and pathways to your ultimate happiness and joy and fulfillment. Number 12, positivity is infectious. Do what you can to spread it. So just like being around someone who has a bad attitude can rub off on you, being around someone who's happy and positive can also rub off on you. So I always strive to be that person in life that is that catalyst for positivity and for happiness, because I know that my energy can rub off on other people, and my positive attitude and positive mindset can make someone else's day better and can make someone else's day happier or more positive or more joyful. So I always try to do those little things that just allow me to spread the good vibes. And I think that's a really good thing. And it could be something as simple as just waving at a stranger or saying hi or smiling at them. It doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. But I just think the more happiness that we can spread in the world, the better the world will be, the better we'll be as a community. 13, peace is underrated. Again, I think this one has to do with the whole mentality of society and communication that we should always be busy. I think peace is something that can get away from us when we're too busy. So it kind of aligns with the whole resting, being productive, is just taking time to be by yourself, taking time to be in your own energy and to do soothing and relaxing things, creating a sense of peace or multiple senses and moments of peace in your day can just be so rewarding. So make sure to prioritize your peace. 14, surround yourself with beautiful things to boost your mood. So this is something I'm working on right now. This room that I'm in right now is my new office in my new house, and I've been spending so much time curating things and setting up things that bring me joy and make me happy, because I truly feel like the spaces we spend our time in really shift our mood and either brighten our mood or dampen our mood. And I know for me, being in places that are filled with color and textures and beautiful words and affirmations on the walls and beautiful items like this that glow with beautiful light and have beautiful texture like crystals and stones, those things make me really happy. I truly think there's something magical and important about surrounding yourself with things that are beautiful to you, because I truly think it does boost our mood and make us feel happier and more positive. And who doesn't want that? 15, we are so much more powerful than we often think we are. And this is something I talk about a lot, the power of our own mindset, the power of our own thoughts. I think that alone is something that we harness so much potential in to change our entire lives. Like our minds can change our entire lives, right? The thoughts that we think can change our entire lives. And I think so much of the time we aren't giving the credit to ourselves that we are powerful enough to really make positive or impactful change in our life, when the truth is we actually are. And when you are empowered with the knowledge that you need in order to positively change your life, it is a game changer. So remember, you are so powerful. 16, do it scared. The important thing is that you do it. So this lesson really comes from not being afraid of feeling uncomfortable and not being afraid of doing the things that scare us, because those things are the things that lead to so much growth for us. And it's okay if you go into a situation and you don't feel confident or you don't feel super good about it because you're nervous or you're scared or you're anxious. It's okay to do things feeling that way, because usually what happens is you push yourself outside of your comfort zone in order to do those things, and you get to reap the rewards of the lessons learned and the expansion that come from those things after doing the scary things. So do it scared, just make sure you do it. 17, holding on to resentment and anger is a waste of your energy. So I think this is one that a lot of people don't know. I don't think a lot of people know that holding on to really negative emotions for long periods of time, like holding on to hatred that you have for someone for years and years and years, it really drains you. It will drain you emotionally, physically, mentally. And I think knowing that is so important, because then you get to make the decision to decide that you're not going to waste your energy on things like that. For example, hatred is towards another person, I think, is such a waste of energy, and it's not doing anything good for yourself just to harbor resentment and hatred towards another person, when you can be using your energy towards more positive things and, you know, putting more energy into something that you're working towards, like a dream or aspiration, or putting more energy and time into an activity that you really enjoy. Your energy is so much more valuable there than it is being wasted on someone that you perceive as somebody that you hate. Like, that's not doing you any good. So if you have these like harboring resentments towards people, it doesn't mean that that person didn't hurt you or that you should completely forgive that person because they deserve it, but you should let go of the negative emotion towards that person for your own wellness, for your own self-worth, for your own goodness. It's not about the other person, it's about you. And the only thing you can control is where you put your energy. So take back some of your valuable energy that you use on hate and put it towards love. And just allow that thing that you're putting so much hate towards to just dissipate and remove itself from your life, because you deserve to have your own life force energy put into the things that bring you good things, that make you feel good. 18, find joy in the simple things in life. So I love doing this. This is such a great practice, honestly, to just find happiness and joy in the things, like the mundane things in your everyday, right? So when you're making a meal, how can you lighten up and infuse more happiness and joy into that experience? Maybe you can dance around your kitchen, maybe you can sing your favorite song while you're cooking. Maybe when you're cleaning, that's something I also do. When I'm cleaning, I will listen to my favorite music, or I'll listen to an Abraham Hicks video, like a motivational speaker video when I'm cleaning. Like, just find ways to infuse little bits of joy into the mundane things in life, and adding those little tidbits of joy into your day and noticing them more throughout your day, noticing the beautiful little things in life, like the way the tree outside your window looks when it's blowing in the breeze, like being more mindful of the beautiful things that we sometimes take for granted, like how beautiful nature is. Those are the things, the little small changes, the little things that will shift your energy over time and allow you to be a more happy person. And there's just so much beauty in life. There's so many beautiful things that we can recognize and be grateful and thankful for. And it's really a mindset that you can cultivate by noticing those things more often and having those things stack on top of each other. And then you create this more beautiful, more positive mindset for yourself from noticing the beautiful, simple things in life. And I honestly think it's one of the easiest ways to shift from a negative mindset to a positive mindset in a really easy but really impactful way. 19, which is kind of piggybacking off of 18, is gratitude is key for a happy life. So being thankful and grateful for the things that bring you joy, it's just so important. It's one of the most important things, because if you're not noticing the good things in your life, then you're missing these opportunities to enjoy your life more fully. Showing gratitude for every little thing that you take for granted, like the fact that you have a roof over your head, or that you have access to hot running water. Those are beautiful things that some people in the world don't have access to. Clean drinking water, electricity, like even those really basic things we take for granted. And those are beautiful things that help us live our lives more comfortably and more joyfully and more healthily. So the more you can show gratitude for the little things in life, the more of a gratitude mindset you will build for yourself, which truly is one of the key parts and recipes for living a happier life. I spoke about this one a little earlier, but I also made it its own point because I think it's so important. Its own lesson is number 20. The closer of a bond you develop with nature, the more you'll find yourself. And I truly do think this is something that is worth spending your time with. Nature is part of us. We are a part of nature. So the more time you spend in nature, the more you will learn about yourself. And I've experienced that firsthand. I think it's 100% true, and I encourage you to do the same. Number 21, embrace childhood activities that brought you joy, because they can still bring you joy as an adult. I've talked about this one in previous videos, and this is one of my biggest life lessons, because I do think it's so important, is spending the time doing the things that brought you joy as a child, because they can still bring you joy as an adult. And the only reason you probably stopped doing them is because someone told you that it was immature to keep doing those things as an adult, when in reality, it's just fun. It's a source of fun. So for example, today we had our first big snowfall of the year, and we got quite a few inches of snow. And one of the first things I did this morning was take my dog Remy outside. I got bundled up in my coat and snow pants and boots, and I played in the snow with my dog. And that is something that brings me so much joy. It brought me so much joy as a child. It brings me joy still as an adult. It's so fun. It allows me to just feel ease and flow and feel present in the moment and enjoy nature and embrace the fun, playful side of myself, the child within myself. And I think the biggest thing we just need to do as adults is let ourselves do those things and not judge ourselves for thinking that we're being immature or we're being childish, because it's not childish to do things that make you happy. Number 22, it's okay to change your mind. So something that I've learned, and something that I've learned from a lot of my friends' experiences in their own lives as well, is that it's okay to change your mind and to shift gears and try something new, because I think a lot of us think that we know what we want, and a career is a perfect example of maybe you come up with this career and dream career, dream job, dream business in your mind, and you think this is what I'm meant to do, this is the thing, and you put everything into it, and then maybe along your journey you find out that it's not really what you want to do anymore and you actually want to do something else. This happened to me a couple years ago when I first started Living My 2.0. It was supposed to be a mindset coaching business. And then a couple years after pursuing being a coach, I realized I didn't actually want to be a coach. I just wanted to be more of someone who's a positive mindset influencer, someone who shares my own journeys and my own journey and my own lessons in hopes that it inspires other people to do the same. I didn't really want to be sitting in coaching sessions for hours a day. I wanted to just live by example. And I had to shift my content and shift my strategy for my business. And I didn't allow myself to do that for a few months because I was afraid that what I was building, I am now just abandoning. But the truth is, sometimes that's part of the journey, is trying something out, realizing it's not quite the right fit, and shifting to a different thing. And it's totally okay to do that. It's okay to change your mind and to change what you're doing and to shift in a different direction. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's all about just giving ourselves permission to change our minds, because maybe that next thing you're shifting to is the thing that's going to be perfect for you, but you have to have the confidence to make that change and to be okay with changing your mind, because the only person stopping you is yourself. Number 23, make time to try new things. So I feel like this is just a very beneficial practice in general, is to just create time in your life to try new things, try new activities, because maybe there's something that will be your best and most enjoyable hobby or passion or interest that you can do in your spare time that maybe you have never even tried yet, and you won't know unless you try it. So I know something that I've done and something I strive to do in the coming years is to always try a new activity, at least one new activity a year that I haven't tried the year before, because you never know if that thing's going to be your next source of inspiration or joy or happiness or fun. So keep your mind open to doing things that you've never done before. It could be a really fun and enriching experience. Number 24, step outside of your comfort zone often. So this one sort of ties into the last one, and it ties into some other lessons that I've shared in this video, but it's really about being okay with feeling uncomfortable, because staying inside of our comfort zone just really limits us. It stops us from doing the things that could bring us a lot of expansion and growth in our lives, because we're feeling scared or nervous about doing it. But the more you can step outside of your comfort zone, the more benefits you will have from doing those things that make you feel uncomfortable. So that's just a really important thing. It's never going to feel comfortable to do things that make you feel nervous or scared or stressed or anxious, but it's important that you do them. Number 25, never be afraid to love fully with your whole heart. I think love is a scary thing, and a lot of people hold themselves back from love because they're afraid of getting their heart broken. And I just think it's a truly important thing to put your heart and love into the people, into the things that you need to put them into, without the fear of ever losing them. Because it's the fear of losing them that holds us back. But I think the true tragedy is never fully experiencing the amount of love that you could potentially experience because you were holding yourself back from the fear of losing it. So that one, I think, is a really big one. Number 26, there are lessons that could be found in every challenge. So I choose to see life as a growth opportunity. Everything I do in my life is an opportunity for growth, and that includes the challenges that I face. We can choose to see challenges and struggles as things that just are really unfortunate, that don't make us feel good, that we hate, or we can choose to see it from the perspective of going through something terrible or hard or challenging, getting on the other side of it, and then choosing to do the reflection and realize just how much we've grown from that experience or how much we've learned from that experience, and choose to see that thing that was challenging as something that helped us grow and become more resilient, get stronger, get more smart. Any way that we want to see that challenge as something that turned into a positive, I feel like that's a way better mentality to have than just viewing challenges as things that are negative. Number 27, life is what you make it. So take charge and forge your path. So this one is really about the fact that nobody is going to pursue your dreams for you. No one's going to make the hard choices for you. No one's going to put in the effort for you. It really comes down to you doing that for yourself. You only have this one life to live, so do the things that are going to make it worthwhile for you. Number 28, online friendships can be just as meaningful as in-person ones. This is a personal one that I've learned, and I've talked about this in a past video, that one of my most important lessons that I've learned in my 30s is that you can cultivate really strong and really powerful and really meaningful friendships and connections through people that you meet online. And it's something that really surprised me that I only really started discovering when I put myself out on this platform and I created Living My 2.0. I started meeting people, like-minded people, through Instagram or through YouTube, and I quickly realized that those people they became like pillars in my life, like really strong, impactful, important friendships for me. And some of them are with people I've never even met in real life. And I think some people would think that's crazy, but I actually think that's so beautiful. It really shows you how the world, the beauty of social media, the beauty of the internet, it can provide us with so much impact and beautiful relationships that we would otherwise not have if we didn't have the internet or social media to connect with people. And I just think that's a really beautiful thing. So if maybe you find yourself in your 30s and you haven't found like that best friend or that person that you can confide in, that you can share important things with, just be open to the fact that maybe they are online and maybe that's okay. Maybe they don't live in the same state or the same country as you, but the relationship that you cultivate with them could be just as important as a friend that you've known your whole life. And just be open to connections finding you in that way. Number 29, having a trusted support system of friends is so important. And this kind of ties into the last one, but I think it's so important to find those people that you can truly be your authentic self with and that you can have those deep, meaningful conversations with, because we all need people that we can rely on. We all need people that we can vent to. We all need people that we can go to for advice. And without those people in your life, you may not reach your full potential. Sometimes reaching our full potential actually comes from outside influences that help us on our own journeys. And that's something that I've learned. I know even for this newest iteration of my YouTube channel, where a few months ago I started making more vlog style videos and videos like this where it's just me talking and it's not me sharing as Julia, the mindset coach. It's me sharing as Julia, the person who just happens to love mindset and personal development. That idea came from a conversation with a friend. Like, she told me, why don't you start making videos like this that are just more about your life as opposed to trying to show up as this professional that you are trying to make yourself be and be perceived as online. And that changed everything for me with this channel. It gave me this new rejuvenated sense of purpose and excitement for the content I create on here. And I attribute a lot of that to that conversation that I had with my friend. So just know that your friendships are so important, and it's so important to cultivate them and really show appreciation for them because they are so valuable. Number 30, self-care is so important. So self-care looks many ways, but ultimately what it comes down to is taking time for yourself to do the things that fill your own cup, because those things are going to help you cultivate a life with more wellness and enjoyment and fulfillment. So just make sure you're taking care of you. Celebrate your wins, even the small ones. So this one is really about embracing and enjoying the in-between times between your goals and them actually manifesting and coming true for you. Because those in-between moments are just as important as celebrating the final outcomes and the success from achieving your goal. So just remember, the journey along the way is just as important as the manifestation from the success of achieving a goal. And it's just so important in general to celebrate yourself, celebrate your journey, celebrate your wins, celebrate everything that happens along the way to your goals actually coming true for you. 32. Manifestation is a powerful tool that works. So manifestation is such a cool thing. It's so cool. And it really aligns with the whole your mind and your beliefs dictate your reality. So manifestation is really about just making friends with your mind, with your thoughts, and taking control and the power of them, because those things are going to be the things that shape your reality. And that's manifestation. Such a cool thing, so powerful. Embrace it. 33. Leave room in your mind for the unimaginable to come true. So if you have big dreams and big goals and part of you thinks there's no way these can ever happen for me, I don't think there's any such thing as impossible. So I think if you make a little room in your mind and your heart to believe that amazing things can happen for you, things out of your wildest dreams can happen for you, that is such a cool and such a powerful mindset to have. And we've arrived to the last life lesson, number 34. There's always more learning and growth to be had, because life is a journey. It's all about growth. It's all about expansion. It's all about finding our ultimate joy, happiness, fulfillment, and it's a never-ending journey. So those are my 34 life lessons as a 34-year-old. I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.